And welcome to the No Show Sportscast from wherever you are, whether you have just started work, whether you finished work. Hey, let's give a shout out to the people that are just starting work and love it. Wherever you're coming from, tip-off, first pitch, face-off, kickoff, it's the No Show Sportscast. Matt Klein on this Monday morning. The NFL wraps up. The Canucks finish off a very unfortunate road trip with a loss in San Jose. NBA action happening. We've got all NFL coverage for Sunday as well as hockey on Saturday. So in case you thought you missed anything, well, we're going to be covering all the important stuff. First of all, of course, we've got to talk about the Canucks. They fall to the San Jose Sharks, a team that was once 0-10-1. And here we are looking and wondering amongst ourselves what is going on, what is happening to this team. Because it's hard to imagine, and especially seeing how they were 12-4-1 at some point. Now they're falling. So it's not too sure exactly what's going on. 14-7-1. It's been disappointing for them. We're not exactly sure why. Losing 3 of their last 5, and they haven't exactly been juggernauts of a team. That Colorado loss, that was one that they could have not come through. But to lose to Calgary and Seattle and now San Jose, these are teams that they need to beat. And this is something that is going to be a reoccurring theme. However, if the Canucks continue to disappoint like this, then we're not going to be putting them up in that upper echelon of teams. Because right now it's a very, very small list, and you've got to be elite to be in that elite list. So maybe the Canucks are falling out of that. A lot of people, they look at that overtime loss. They see it's a point. It's good. They don't exactly consider it to be much. I consider it a problem because to me, it's a loss. You can say that a team is 14-6-4 and say they've only lost 6 times. They're 14-10. That's how I look at it because if you lost in overtime, did you win? No. And if you didn't win, you lost. So the Canucks, of course, an overtime loss is a lot more important than losing 8-2, you know. The Hurricanes can tell you all about that. But the Canucks fall to the Sharks in very similar fashion on repeating Saturdays now, nonetheless, which is hard to believe because it should have been 5-2 with an empty net. Instead, they try and figure something out, get it close as can be. Brock Besser, 2-goal effort. And this is like the stats are padding up here. Who are we? Russell Westbrook all of a sudden? Yeah, we can lose, but as long as we're getting our points, we can lose 7-6 for the rest of the season as long as we're getting those goals and padding those stats. Not going to blame Casey DeSmith on this one. Second end of a back-to-back, of course. They should have had Demko in there. It would have been better for me to see that. But then again, you think that Seattle is maybe the better team, so you want to go with Demko in and then get the backup guy, DeSmith, going in the second game. But that is just a tough one to lose to because the Sharks haven't proven anything. They haven't shown anything all season. And it's difficult when the Canucks should be rolling in and taking care of business against this team. The power play, nothing to worry about, of course. Going 2 for 4. There's nothing more you can really ask for from them for that because you know that that's kind of where they're making their money now. That is their identity. It's the power play. It's the top tier group. I want to see more of the bottom 6 because we all know that an excellent team, a great team, is going to have a powerhouse third line, or they're going to have depth on defense, or they're going to have a goalie that never cracks under pressure. But it's alas, we don't need to be concerning ourselves with these things because it's just November. It's just November, of course. But a lot of Canucks fans are going to be looking at this and they're going to be saying, "Hey, I don't want to be going along this. I don't want to be going down this rabbit hole. I've been down this road before. I've seen it all. I've seen this movie before. There's a lot of parallels. I mean, there's a lot of teams, and that's the thing. You're going to be able to make comparisons to the Canucks right now with a lot of other teams. Marginal success. You think they're going to go on a hot streak, but that's just not the case. The Canucks are not dead, okay? Yes, they've lost to some bad teams recently, but they've also proven themselves with an excellent core that had needed to show up. Demko playing the type of guy, being that type of guy like he was in the bubble in 2020. So all of that said, it's important to not forget, okay? Let's just remember what we've got here. Let's try and compartmentalize this season. That's a huge deal. Can we compartmentalize what we're seeing right now and just be grateful for all the good things that are going on? They're going to get it back. I'm not too worried at all. Fortunately for them, Vegas also lost. But LA is not slowing down. The Kings have been taking care of business, and quite decisively as well. So the Canucks have Anaheim, Vegas, and that's it for November. And then Calgary, New Jersey, Minnesota. This is great. This is exactly what they need. A little bit of in between. I said last show this wasn't a test for them because of all these easy opponents. Anaheim, you got to make a statement. You got to make it close with Vegas. And you got to be able to take care of business next Saturday against Calgary. I mean, come on. This is the team that you need to be owning this year. Unless you want to be just like them. And if you're going to be just like them or just like Edmonton is now, because Edmonton is clearly not playing like the way that they should be or the way that they want to. I don't care about no 5-0 win against Washington. That doesn't say anything to me, and I'm sure McDavid will agree. It was a very eventful weekend as well because, of course, you have your American Thanksgiving going on. You've got Black Friday. So there's games happening at random times during the day on Friday, all day on Thursday, and then, of course, all day on Saturday and Sunday. So it's kind of like been a big 4-day extravaganza of a... It's like a 4-day, it's like a quad holiday of sports debauchery. And now it's come to a close. It's a wrap, unfortunately. But it hasn't been all like that because over here in Vancouver, it's just another week to me. It's not like I can just stay home and watch football all day on Thursday. That didn't happen because I can't just do that. It's not easy. It's not easy. That's why you just got to almost, for me, I've got to make sure that I'm taking in as much as I can and being sure to make sure that the quality is there too. I'm not going to be watching the Pistons versus the Magic. I'm not going to be watching Tampa Bay versus Indianapolis. But let me tell you, the AFC has changed a lot. You have the Denver Broncos making a push here. You've got the Colts in the playoffs. You've got the Steelers letting go of Matt Canada and still finding a way to win. You could say that the offense was improved, but I mean, if Joe Burrow was in there for Cincinnati, I think that the Steelers would have a little bit of a different kind of, I don't know. Would their offense be as good? I mean, we all know what they can do defensively, so that explains why Cincinnati was struggling with Jake Browning in there, getting a little bit more offense going. Getting Harris involved a little bit more because we all know that if there's a player that's complaining, he has to get what he wants the next weekend, or else he's going to complain even more. And you don't want that on your conscience, Mike. You don't. You want to be rid of that as much as you can. So, enough said. But we all know what the most important game of the weekend was, and it looked like on numerous occasions. I mean, Buffalo was in such a good spot. They were in such a good spot, but they just could not come away with it. 36-34. I mean, let's be honest here. 37-34, pardon me. I kind of just felt like that's what was going to happen. That was going to be the case. Gabe Davis is not on the right track he was in the end zone, and he could not come away with the catch. That was gonna seal it. That was gonna end it. Now Josh Allen is 0-6 in overtime. So for some reason, this just keeps happening. For some reason, the Bills. I mean, last year in the playoffs, Bill Burr, he said it right. Last January. after the DeMar Hamlin incident, Joe Burr, Bill Burr was like, when is God going to let these people stand upright? Because nothing has gone well for them. And even just for the Buffalo Bills, nothing is going right. They are the more offensively polished Jets, minus Aaron Rodgers, of course. But it's just like the Jets aren't allowed to have nice things. That's what it appears to be. Like, I saw Gabe Davis he wasn't running the right route in overtime there. I saw Diggs drop a huge pass, multiple passes. I saw a lot of bad offense by the Bills because Josh Allen had to do everything. He just played his mind out. He just lost it and said, I'm going to run everywhere. I'm going to throw everywhere. And if I have to die, I'm going to try and get this win. And yeah, I'm sure that's how Mahomes felt last week when none of his receivers could catch the ball. And now here we are. I thought that the Bills were cursed. Are the Bills cursed? Because Jalen Hurts did a lot. He really did. He came up big. He did not throw the ball as much as Josh Allen did. He threw 3 touchdowns, ran in for 2, ran a lot to get those extra first downs, extra yardage. Because the Bills were clamping up. That's the crazy thing. But Stephon Diggs, you've got to make those catches. You've got to do that because you cannot beat the Eagles if you are giving them these drops. If you are letting them do this and you are taking away the field that you should be getting, but you are allowing them to take over, and once again, a touchdown beats a field goal. A touchdown beats a field goal, and how many missed field goals? 2? I understand. Okay, relax. Okay. Still, there could have been a whole lot more there. But nothing. Both defenses did what they needed to at the end. For some magical reason, the Eagles stopped with the penalties. The offensive line, I'm telling you, at the beginning of the game, I thought Buffalo was going to win, and it would be a good look for the 49ers. But I'm telling you, I'm still taking the Eagles over the 49ers. I am. Even if the Bills won this game today, I'm taking the Eagles over the 49ers. I've been saying it all season. So that is the situation. That's what's going on. That was the most exciting game, and it was worth the watch. Overtime, it could have kept going. You know, they could have kicked a field goal there, not to mention Jake Elliott makes a 59-yarder. Hello, are you kidding me? I touched briefly on the Jets on like how does Buffalo seem to be that team as well? Yeah, they do. Like, Buffalo has that innate ability to hold themselves back. It's like they're hamstringing themselves. And we saw the Jets do this on Black Friday. I mean, can you believe it? Can you actually believe it? Javon Holland, for the first time ever, a 99-yard Hail Mary interception return touchdown. How is any of this possible? Only the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets could have made that play happen. And unfortunately, it had to go at the hands of Tim Boyle, who played actually pretty well. I just think that there's no way that the Jets' offensive line can facilitate him, give him as much time as he needed. Not to mention how the offense, Breece Hall just can't run. What happened to Breece Hall? Where did he go? What happened to him? Because he's been playing like how Dalvin Cook's been playing at the beginning of the season. And Tim Boyle, too many dump-off passes. The arm strength that Jets fans think Zach Wilson has, but never put on display, Tim Boyle is just doing that as well. Without the expectations, without the, hey, you can do this, right? And the Dolphins offense, you're not going to stop the Dolphins offense. The only way you can do that is if you think to yourself you can score more points than them because they're just going to lose. That's the only way that they're going to lose. It's not like some superior defense is going to take them down. Because, I don't know, has defense actually been able to make a statement for themselves this year? Have we seen that the defense of an excellent team, the Eagles allowed 34 points tonight. But but it's interesting because the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Browns kind of have the best defense. The 49ers as well. The 49ers may have allowed a lot of points to Cincinnati 3 weeks ago, but their defense, you match it up, you say, okay, their defense is great. Their offensive line is all right. And that's, going back to the Eagles, it's just the same situation. You got the Eagles. Their offensive line is spectacular, and then their defense is great. So it's just the reverse. That's why I think the two of them cancel out, and the Eagles are still that team because Jalen Hurts is better than Brock Purdy. So that's how it works. But anyway, yeah, Javon Holland and the Miami, they just kind of, I don't even know. You would think that this can only happen, this kind of interception. I was watching it. I could not believe what I was seeing when I saw it for the first time. That is just remarkable. It's remarkable. We don't love to see it when it happens to teams where we're like, oh, come on, can you guys please, just don't let this be what we remember from your season, okay? It can happen, but show up in another way. Do something else. Do something to cancel it out. Because you're not doing anything to cancel it out. These are the things we're going to remember the season by because it's going to be one of the top plays of the year, top 10 play of the year, Javon Holland, Hail Mary pick 6. Except he wasn't the one trying to catch the ball to convert the Hail Mary. He did the opposite of a Hail Mary. Yeah, so those big NFL games, big NHL games. NBA has been a little bit interesting. Friday you have your in-season tournament. That's what everybody wants to see apparently. I don't even know when it starts or I don't know when does this thing come to an end, because there's regular season games that I would rather watch, like yesterday, the Lakers and the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell, unfortunately, some tough missed buckets there. I was playing a bunch of basketball this weekend and I was just like, man, I'm making these shots, but you're supposed to be better than the rest of us. That's why you're here, isn't it? And he had some great opportunities there. Darius Garland in and out, not too sure. Yeah. But hey, I'm going to enjoy a basketball game if it's good enough, no matter if it's in-season tournament or not. Just keep pumping out good content to try and get me on board here, because I'm not. I'm bored here. So, anyway. That's what we've been able to see. There's been a lot of great action, though. It's been exciting. And the football, hey, we wanted a great game. And we want the Canucks to do better. And we want basketball to be entertaining. In-season tournament, it's not happening so far. Not crazy about it. But hey, we're going to be having a whole lot more coming. Check out our Friday show, because we're going to be talking about the entire week. Don't worry about missing anything, because we're going to be talking about it, everything that you need to know. All right? So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again on the No Show Sportscast.